How does it work? Can you like set priority? So like you can set priority for faces.
You can specify if it's a human or an animal.
Because it doesn't know.
So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Zumba.
Zumba. Yeah.
We're talking about specifically the Zumba, what they called, Zumba something event.
Zin Academy.
Zin Academy, which is a project that Zumba do, I think annually. They do it like every year, and they pick a different city and they go and they put on like a bit of an event to get like a celebrity in. And I think last year was the first time we did one, right?
Yep.
Not only did they want us to do the edit, they wanted us to do several edits. Really early on, me and Jess, one of our producers, we had a meeting with the client. We're like, okay, we're going to hash out all these different edits that we're going to do on the day. A main video, choreography videos, which were in the first one last year as well.
Yeah.
As well as like a bunch of social clips and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So the bulk of like the project itself happened within the space of 24 hours.
Yeah, easily, yeah. I mean, that's what they want to capitalize on, really. They want, while the buzz is still going on of the event, you know, they want people who went there to see it on their Zumba social channels and to repost it and to engage with it. We needed to capture everything, basically. Yeah. So they've got like, how many events? They had maybe about 10 sessions of different like styles of Zumba dancing throughout the day. But we had to get there at 7 o'clock and get everybody arriving. And people come from all over the world, not just the UK. Like people are mad for Zumba. So like people would come on bus loads, you know, they'd flown over from all sorts of places. So they'd arrive and we got the whole buzz of everybody arriving. And, you know, some of these people have maybe not seen each other for a year. So like people hugging, you know, getting reacquainted.
Oh yeah, I remember rocking up on the day because you guys had to get there for, like you said, for capture, like getting people smiling and stuff.
Yeah.
And I rolled up, and it's in a very unassuming place.
Yeah.
So it's in the middle of like
an industrial estate.
An industrial estate.
Yeah.
So I got a taxi over, and there was nothing for ages. And then we turned one corner, and there was suddenly like 17 taxis. There was like buses. There was people coming in. And I sort of navigated around to try and find you guys. And to get in, there was like a big line of people,
and people wearing fluorescent, like
wearing the full get up,
and
like without fault, everyone was walking up and like embracing each other.
I know,
very strange. I'd never seen that much warmth in my life, so I was kind of unaccustomed to it. So I was walking through, and I met with Jess, and she was leading me in. And I was like, "Do I
hug everyone?
Do I go in for a hug?" Especially because regardless of if you're like media presence or whatever, you have to go in via the same route.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I get to the front, do I have to? So I was sort of like gearing myself up. I was like, okay, I can do this. It's just a stranger. It's fine. Everyone else is doing it. But I think I kind of got a free pass because I was very obviously.
Had the
not dressed.
MacBook Pro under
MacBook Pro, heavy backpack. I wasn't dressed for the occasion. But we got in. I led up to, I think it was like, it's like a row of green rooms or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a VIP area.
So and it essentially was where we were based. We were based in this little room.
Which was a huge difference compared to last year, because last year we didn't have a room or anything. We were literally just behind the main stage on a little, I don't even know what it was, a little flight case.
Yeah.
That just set up a little laptop, and we were just DIT and just backing up as we went. And luckily, they gave us a really nice space that overlooked the main stage, but it kind of gave us a little bit of soundproofing ish. Like from the
I mean, it's better than nothing. Like I can't imagine having to do the amount of work we did behind the stage. No way.
It wouldn't have worked. I think that it really hammered home how important it is to just have that space where you can sort of decompress and take stock of what you've got, and then go back to it.
We're pretty much in the heart of everything. I think next door to us was the main media team for Zumba, and then next door to us on the other side was Beto Perez and his crew and all of his entourage, basically.
Which was a kind of a blessing and a curse, I suppose, because it meant that we got direct feedback from the man himself, but also we got direct feedback from himself.
It was a lot. So throughout the day, Marc would be off shooting, he'd be doing stuff. Jess would be carrying stuff to and fro and getting cards and like talking to the client and stuff like that. So she'd be off doing that, and I'd get footage in throughout the day, and we had our list of deliverables that we were working through. So there was like the main video, choreography videos, and then there was social media videos for Beto, but also
a special guest,
which was Ashley Roberts from the Pussycat Dolls, who was also next door. I almost forgot that. She was like the next door over.
She was, And we had a balcony outside looking over the stage, and we had like a shared balcony.
Yeah.
So we could see her doing her little social videos. Next to
it was very Statler and Waldorf. We had like a little box kind of looking down on everyone else. And you don't expect the noise because you've got these... I don't know if we've got any pictures of it, but if we do, we'll put them here. There's like these big glass doors, and they look triple glazed. Like these look like they drown anything out.
Yeah.
But the bass from these subwoofers, it comes up through your feet.
Yeah.
So I had these big headphones, and you think, okay, this will drown out any of the noise, but it comes up through your soul. So I've got to like counter it by having.
You're thinking, is this in my edit?
Yeah, I got to blow it out and stuff.
Yeah. So while you were obviously doing that, I was out on the floor capturing all the footage for these various videos. I figured, right, what's the what broadly speaking, what's the stuff that we need to capture here?
Yeah.
We need the big wide shots of that are very floaty, kind of moving through the crowd. So obviously that was a small FX30 on a handheld gimbal, and then we had a second camera that was like similar sort of shots but much tighter, so getting kind of a lot of people's faces, like both crowd and people on the stage as well. So we had the FX3 with the 70-200 on it. So it's really tight.
That's the one in the small rig, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we've just rigged this up now. So it's like, it's really nice and compact. It's not really heavy because FX3 is like quite a small camera. It's just got a big long lens on it, but it means that you can get like that the combination of the big nice wides on the gimbal and then these like kind of tighter detail shots of getting like people's reactions and even like close-ups of like trainers and the close-ups of the dance moves.
Yeah,
combination of those two things was really nice. So there are sort of main cameras for the promo content, and then we had a third camera which is actually our big camera, the FX9.
Yeah,
it was just on a 24-70 lens on the shoulder rig with a boom mic just plug straight into it, that we were going around getting vox pops for slightly different content that we'll kind of talk about later. But having these three cameras just meant it saved so much time and effort, just having to, last time I'd put the camera down, I'd put a different rig on, change lenses, all that stuff. I know it only adds like maybe 2 minutes a time, but if you're doing that 30 times throughout the day, it adds up. So like just having these rigs ready to go, it makes so much difference. It's these little things, but they add up collectively over the day.
Yeah, I think you touched on it really well there with the cameras. Is the main thing, at least I've found with jobs like this, is you need a certain degree of like flexibility.
Yeah.
There was one point throughout the day where Beta Perez came in the room and sort of sat with me while I was editing.
Yeah.
And I think it happened like 2 or 3 more times after that. The first time was kind of surreal.
Yeah.
Because you don't typically... If you make a video for, I don't know, Kellogg's, you don't like
have Mr. Kellogg's,
Mr. Rice Krispies, Snap, Crackle and Pop to your left while you edit. You don't have any of that.
Tony the Tiger.
But strangely throughout the day it became normal.
So
you'd be out filming, Jess would be out doing something else.
He's quite a stoic man as well, so he doesn't give a whole lot
He's
away.
got a very different, right, when he's got his shirt off, he's a different fella. Now hear me out. Like when he's full tank top, he's like this ripped dancer guy. But then when he like shirts up and comes in, he's like got his glasses on. It's like, oh,
he looks like a different person.
He's a different man. So I didn't realize at first it was him. I think you pointed out after the fact. You're like, do you know what that was? And I was like, what? So you kind of got used to, especially as the day goes on, you get used to the comings and goings of people. And the more you do jobs like this, the easier it is to become kind of liquid in the way you approach.
100%. Flexibility is the key, I think, because if we'd gone in there and been rigid and just said, well, that's not what we plan to do, and kick back. I mean, there's a limit, obviously. There's a bit of, give and take, but in reality, there's no reason why we couldn't do that. And if that gives the client some extra content and we've got capacity to do it, then, why not? Like, we're there anyway. So as long as it doesn't make our end product suffer, I think it's good to be flexible.
One of the key things that the guys wanted to capture, we had like a list. It was like, okay, we want to show a diverse range of people. We want to show the warmth. We want to show the choreography. We want to show like a bit of each class, that kind of thing. There's a bunch of like little tick boxes.
But
one of the big ones was getting like a walk down with Ashley.
Yes,
while
sure.
she's like going to stage sort of thing. I remember that was key.
Yeah, especially because we only had her for a short amount of time. I think maybe she was only on site for an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Yeah.
And there was like a bit of a like, okay, right, is she going now? Is she going now? Is she ready? So I think there was at certain points you were like in the room ready, and it's like, okay, I got 20 minutes, I'll go shoot this, I'll come back. Is she ready? No, she's not ready yet. And then you like start eating a sandwich, and it's like, oh, she's ready now. It's like, sandwich down, quickly go.
And then I'll be waiting there literally outside her dressing room with a camera on a gimbal, just waiting for her to open the door, because I want to get that like genuine, like she's opening the door, she's going to the stage. I kind of didn't want to. We didn't have a lot of time to choreograph anything, so I think I gave her a little heads up of like what I was going to do. I'd say like, you're going to come out, I'm going to kind of follow you backwards with a gimbal. I'll swap over, I'll get a reverse shot, you'll go down the stairs.
Well, that's it. You need a bit more planning for something like that, because you only get one shot at it,
exactly. Maybe if I was just going to do a wanna and just follow her all the way down, I probably could have just let her do it. But even so, like I kind of don't want her to look into the lens, so I needed to give her a little bit of a brief of what I was going to do, but it was minimal. It was 10 seconds. I was like, I'm going to do this. There was a couple of times that like, you know, I don't really know what each of these people are going to do. I don't even know if the organizers know what they're going to do, to be honest. But like, for example, one guy, the dude in the little hat, he started off on
the like pork pie
hat. Yeah. He started off on the stage doing his usual damn thing, got some nice shots of him. Yeah, cool, all good. Went back up to the room to the IT, and then I looked out the window and he like jumped off the stage and had got everybody like in a circle around him in the middle of the floor. And I was like, oh my God, like, for a start, this is way different than what we got before. And like, if people are going to like remember back to the event, and you know, if they want to see like a highlight of it, even though I've got that dude on stage, people are going to remember him going onto the floor and like getting people involved and like doing a circle. So I was like, I had to grab the gimbal really quickly and just like run down. And you know, so again, it goes back to what we were saying before. I feel like the main take home from doing any of these like same day edits for events is just like being mega flexible with it and not being so rigid. Yeah, because you don't have time for note taking. No. So instead of having like marked up footage saying there's a good shot in here, there's a good shot in here. Instead, we'll get you'll run into the room and go, I just got a really good shot. You got to look at it now. And like, okay, that's going in the edit. You know what I mean? When you got that level of excitement about it. And I remember that one specifically because it felt that was the
really
main one.
kinetic.
That was the one that I remember. Like when I came away from the day, I was like, that's almost a show reel shot. That just because it's got so much movement in it, colorful, dynamic, smiling, people enjoying themselves, and like, you know, so if we could extend that across the whole video, then like we've kind of done our job, I think.